Hey buddy, hope you're well. So I've just thrown this little video together. There's no particular order that you need to do these in, and you don't even need to do them all every time. You can create your own little routines out of this. Find whichever one works best or feels the nicest afterwards. So it's just a bunch of stuff for you to play with really. So hips and hamstrings quite a lot. So first one, with regards to the hips, is called a hip aeroplane. So stand with your feet sort of set apart, and then I'm going to do a bit of a single leg hinge. So this one leg is going to go back, and I'm going to keep that nice and straight. So there's loads of balance involved in this, so stick your arms out to the side. So you start with your hips square, and then from here you're going to go for a little internal rotation. So if you just think where your belly button's pointing, that's pretty much how your hips are facing. And then once you've done an internal one, I'm going to try and open it out to the side, up like that, and then I'm going to close it back off. Okay, there's loads of wobbliness and balance involved, but try and go for 5 on each side, something like that. And it's just really the thing that we're looking for is keeping this nice and straight, little internal, and then that big external as you open it out to the side and then close it off. Okay, 5 on each side. You'll get better with them as you practice. Next up, you're going to do a plate squat, so I need something to squat with. A knackered old slam ball, so something like a 5 kilo plate or a lightweight kettlebell would be perfect, just so we can have it in that nice upright position. So grab your plate or whatever you're using, come down into that deep squat position, so we're really low, focusing on getting our hips way down into that bottom position. Then I'm going to come out of that a little bit, loads of tension, squeeze my bum, squeeze my stomach, back down, and then stand. Okay, so your goal on this, initially you're going to sink on down as low as you can, really deep. Then you're going to come out just a little bit, squeeze everything you've got, back down, and then stand. So you're not dropping into any position, you're under control, you've got loads of tension the whole time. Next up, I'll do that one in a minute, world's best stretch. So it's a good lunge position, so 90 degrees, opposite hand goes on the floor, and then I'm going to pick that back knee off the ground, and I'm going to go for some nice big rotations. Keep looking at your hand the whole time. So I would do 10 on each side, maybe more if it feels good. I'll just show you from the other side. So if my right foot's forward, left hand goes on the floor. We've done this loads and loads. If you can't reach with your elbow, don't force it, just go with your hand or your wrist or wherever you can reach. Okay, so again, 10 on each side, maybe more if you feel good. Next up, pigeon position. So from that lunge, same lunge, I'm going to allow that knee to fall down to the floor, and I'm going to try and keep it roughly 90 degrees. If that's a bit too much of a stretch, I can bring this foot a little bit closer to the body, but ideally it's going to be a little further up. And then I'm just going to try and chill out here a little bit, so you should feel it down the side of that bent leg. So my rear leg is pretty much fully extended behind. And then from there, it doesn't have to be a strict sort of sit there. You can sink down, you can move from side to side, you can find and sort of hunt for tighter bits. So again, sort of 30 seconds to a minute on each side. Flying through these. So now, hamstring floss. You're going to lay on your back, relax one leg, I'm going to pull one up, so I'm pulling my hamstring towards my chest, and then I'm going to floss and relax. So I'm just extending that leg, and whilst I'm there, I can go for some nice little foot plantar dorsiflexion going on there. And the more you pull, the more of a hamstring stretch you're going to get. You can even loop something around your foot like a towel, lock it out and pull. That'll give you a massive hamstring stretch. I'll show you the couch stretch now. Okay, so going for a couch stretch, so you can do this on the edge of a couch, hence its name. I'm going to plant one knee pretty close to the corner of the wall. So I've got one foot up on the wall, and then this other one I'm going to try and bring forwards, and I'm going to sit up into that position. This is a bit too much. You can brace it like this, so you're going to get a monster quad stretch in here. Okay, so the more you get into it, the more you should hopefully be able to sit upright. And again, just like the other ones we've been doing, aim for about 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how tight it is at the beginning. And you're trying to just sort of chill out a little bit, I guess, and go for both legs. So there's a bunch of different ones. Chuck them around, mix it up, see which ones feel the best. And if you want any more, shout. Tagging another one on because I forgot the most amazing one. So we're going to do down dog and up dog. Okay, so down dog you're probably familiar with. Hips high up into the sky. Try and drive your palms through the floor, so you're trying to drive away from the ground. See if you can get your heels onto the floor. And I'm trying to steepen that angle as much as I can. From here, there's variations in this position which you can do, so we can reach through and go for some taps of the ankle. We can even sort of go for some stomps, so drive one heel at a time into the floor. What we can also do is a bit of a dive bomber through into that up dog position. So now I'm squeezing my shoulder blades back, big proud chest. I can let my hips sink to the floor, or I can just hover them a little bit and get a really big stretch through the upper back and hip flexors and all sorts of jazz. And then from there, just going to scoop it back into that down dog position. So you get loads of posterior chain, loads of shoulder movement. It's a winner.